Yeah, good afternoon to one and all. It's my honor and privilege to welcome today resource persons in the book discussions on the book Computer Programming Theory and Practicals. So with us, we have Dr. Surendra Singh Chauhan from MNIT Jaipur, along with Professor Kusumdeep from IIT Roorkee. We also welcome the faculty members and students which are part of the today book discussions from various institutions across India, from various AICT approved institutions and other institutions in India. In brief, before we go into the book discussion for this particular book, I wish to inform the interventions initiated by the AICT for the technical book writing. Basically, 2 years back, AICT has started the technical book writing scheme, and the basic objective of this scheme is to provide the study material to the students in various mother tongues. So we have started, there are 20 books in the first year, 12, 11 at the diploma level and 9 at the UG level. And subsequently, these books has been translated into the 12 Indian languages. Similarly, we have started the second year work. So there are total 88 books, 46 at the diploma level and 42 at the degree level. And now most of the books are is in the stage of completions, and AICT has also initiated the translation of these books in the different Indian languages, mainly Hindi, Urdu, Bengali, Marathi, Assami, Tamil, Telugu. So number of languages across India have been covered under this particular initiative. Some recently, the Honorable President of India has also launched one portal, which is a repository of the various books in English as well as the Indian languages also. So it was launched in November 2022 by Honorable President of India, and we are happy to share with all that there are large number of students and faculty members in the last 1.5 months, around more than 4.55 lakhs faculty members and students access and downloaded books from this portal. So today we are taking up the book for the discussion is computer programming, which on screen it has been downloaded by 3,588 times so far in last 10 to 12 days of its uploads. Which shows the popularity and the hard work done by our distinguished authors along with the reviewers for this particular book. So I request all the participants to kindly access these books which are uploaded on the AICT Ukumba portal, and all these books have been designed keeping in mind the outcome-based education as envisaged in the National Education Policy 2022. So there are books related to computer programming, data structure, digital electronics, and from the civil side also there are a number of books from mechanical sides are there. So I request all of you to kindly download these books. They are without any charges. And recently also AICT took a major decision to make all these books as an open education resources in alignment with the UNESCO resolutions. So with this, I again welcome our both the resource persons in the today interactions. And now I request Dr. Satyendra Singh Chauhan, who is the author of this particular book on computer programming, to kindly initiate the discussion, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the warm welcome and the introduction about the book. So let me share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay. So first of all, I would like to thank AICT authorities for giving me this opportunity to write this computer programming theory and practical books. I would like to thank ma'am also for Kusumdeep ma'am for his valuable feedbacks throughout writing of the books that helps me a lot during the writing of this book. So in this book, basically, it's a fundamental book of programming. It starts with foundations of problem solvings through any programming language, and throughout the books it try to motivate for programming language for the all the beginners that do not have any, those who do not have any programming experience. So it's one of the foundation books that is written for the diploma and the engineering students. uh, I would like to take this opportunity to tell you my experience that from last 4 year I'm teaching first year computer programming course. So initially when a student comes and in the first year they directly interact with me. So I took the whole experience of last 4 year to writing this book, because a new student, whenever he comes to the college and whenever he is study one of the subject from programming side, there are lots of challenges he face, because it is totally different from what he has learned during his schooling time. And apart from because AICT started a great initiative to have this programming language in 12 different other mother tongues also, because uh, what I observed during my last 4 year teaching first year students, they are quite hesitant with one particular language, and whenever you teach, they understood but they cannot express, or sometimes they do not understood one particular topic, or the crux of the books, or the idea of the topic. So throughout those experience that I had of teaching computer programming, I took those as a motivation, and I wrote this book. Some of the features that are there in the book. So since it's outcome based education book, so throughout the so first we define the course outcome of that book, and throughout the book for each unit we define the unit outcomes, so that specify that after reading that particular chapter, what that particular unit, what what are the knowledge, what will be the outcome of that unit, and those unit outcomes are mapped with the overall course outcomes. So throughout the book we start with the programming outcomes, program outcomes, unit outcomes, and the course outcome, and there is a mapping of each unit outcomes to the course outcomes. And so these are the program outcomes for the diploma diploma courses. uh, Another feature is that whenever there is a discussion on one particular topic in one particular unit, it always start with a motivating example with why we should study this particular topic, or why this topic is being discussed. So it always start with one particular motivating example, and then build up on it to explain the problem solving, specifically the computational problem solving, and then it motivates the students to solve using the programming language. And in this particular book we have used C programming as a programming tool for understanding the programming concepts. Throughout the book, we also maintain that the each solved problems that are given in the book are explained in detail. So every segment of the programming example that is shown in the book is explained line by line. As you can see on this, one snapshot is given from the book where example is written, and for each line, it is the explanation of the of the example is given on the right hand side. So for throughout the book we maintain this concept. uh, since this is an outcome based uh, book, outcome based implementation, so throughout the book the assessment was done in keeping with the keeping in the mind of Bloom's taxonomy. And outcome-based assessment was done using various assessment techniques, having short and long type answers, MCQs, fill in the blanks. There are various practical questions are there in each chapter, at the end of each chapter. And there are also the answers of this book, answer of this exercises were also given in each end of each unit. And as shown here, that there are some output based questions was also given for each programming exercises to give the idea of the topic covered in the chapter and to fairly assess the knowledge of the students. And some programming exercises were also given in the at the end of each unit. What I observed through my teaching, that whenever a student study in classroom, uh, specifically the first year student, especially first year student, when they come to the classes, they do not ask the questions that they might ask. So they feel, okay, so it might be a silly question, or it might this teacher might laugh on me that I'm asking this type of question. So throughout the book, I have maintained the programming tips on each example or each concept that gives the idea key what are the good ways of writing a good program. So throughout the books, there are various tips of programming is also given in each topic throughout the unit and throughout the book. Also, apart from that, for curiosity building, there are lots of questions I have put it in the book. So in throughout the book, I have put it some questions after each topic which may not be covered or which is not aligned with the topics that are there in the book, uh, that might need a separate discussion. So I have put it those extra thought processing questions or the discussions as a questions in the book, and that will give the student the idea that to think beyond the course content that is there in the book. And for each question there is a solution is also given. For the solution, the student can so QR code were provided in the book, so that a student can go through the QR code and can find out the answers of the questions of given in the book. uh, Apart from the course content, for extra reading, there are different resources available on the internet or somewhere else. A student can go through the QR code and they can study those extra topics that are there in this. So for each chapter in each unit of the book, with each topic, you may find out some of these QR codes that are there. And throughout the book, we provided lots of figures, tables, and the software screenshots that gives the fair idea that how we can write the program or how to solve programming, how to solve a particular problem through programming using a tool. So throughout the book, we provided visual representation of the problems and the solution as well. And this is one that personally I have created. So I have created a dedicated video lecture series for each unit for that particular book only. So towards the end of the book, I have provided a QR code for this. And if a student wants to learn about and a student wants to listen about the particular topic, they can go to that dedicated video lecture series. On it is available on the YouTube, and though it was not necessary, I created this separate lecture series in bilingual. So most of the videos are available in Hindi also. So it is not only my efforts. One of my student, I would like to acknowledge his efforts also. So for each topic, we are creating this YouTube video lecture series for this particular book also. So it will be keep updating throughout the in the near future time, so that if a student cannot understand one particular topic or one particular questions, like the questions that are given on the book, if you want to find out the solutions, so some of the solutions are given on the video lectures as well. So it will be a thought provoking and student will have a beyond the course content idea of the computer programming through this video lecture series. And those students with the experience of mine, that those who are not comfortable with English, though this book is going to convert it into 12 other languages, I still I'm doing this in 2 languages, in Hindi and English. So this is one of the key feature of this particular book. And towards the end of end of each unit, there is a no more sections. No more section is there that gives the idea of extra knowledge of the programming language that is beyond the course content, and the student and the readers can read that no more sections and for the knowledge about the programming. So this one particular snapshot from first unit, no more sections, then when the programming language was started. And apart from no more section and the video lectures, if readers wants to read further, wants to read further, their references and suggested reading was also provided at the end of the each unit. So these are the main key features of the book. So I would like to thank AICT and the team of AICT for this discussion. So Amil sir, if I should go beyond the each unit, then I can show the course.
Yes, sir. Actually, what I request you, if you could inform, because the students and the faculty members may be interested in knowing about what are the different topics or the
Yes.
area which has been covered in this particular book.
Okay.
So, if you could inform the participant about the important area covered, so that they will be able to understand much better.
Okay, sir. So in the course content, unit 1 start with the problem solving using computers. So it gives the idea of how a problem, specifically a computational problem, can be solved using computers. So it start with the basic knowledge of the computer, what are the components of the component, and how we can give the recipe or the problem solving algorithm to the computer that computer can solve. So before starting directly programming, this unit specify how we can communicate with the computers, with starting with the how computer works and how human works. So how to communicate with computers, what are the how we can because human understand the natural language, where the computer understand the machine language. So how we can communicate with the computers, this is the whole crux of this this unit. And the basic information and the basic knowledge of the programming, what are the compilers and the code editors, where the student can write the programs, and how it can check whether program is correct or not, and how it can compile and run the program, and what are the basic steps that are involved. These are all shown in this the first unit. And it also shows different types of compilers that a student can use. So basically, there are 3 questions that first unit covers: what is programming, and why programming is needed, and how a particular programmer can write a program to solve a computational problem. This is the basic idea that first unit gives. And towards the end of the chapter, because throughout the book, we are going to use C programming as a programming tool. This gives the idea of what are the keywords that are there in this chapter, in this C programming towards the end of the chapter. And in the computer, what memory sizes of these different data types of the C programming language takes. Second unit mostly concerned with the operators that programmers can use in C to solve computational problems. Operators and the input-output functions that programmer can use. So second unit is dedicated for the operators and input-output. In C programming language, there are different types of operators like binary operators, unary operators, and ternary operators. And throughout the book, throughout this unit covers the different types of operators and the syntax and semantics of each type of operators. Syntax means what are the rules to write those operators and how they are evaluated, and what are the semantic behind these operators. So these are the list of operators that are there in C programming language, which is covered throughout the book. And precedence and associativity of the C operator is basically the rule that how the hierarchy of the operator works. So in this unit, it is also because computer programming is unambiguous, so there should be only one meaning of the full expression. So how the expressions were evaluated in C programming language, it is also given in this book. And whenever okay, sorry, I thought it was there, so message was popped out from the screen. Okay, so in C programming, for input output, there are two basic functions, printf and scanf, and these input functions and what are the syntax of these functions that are there given in this unit. So the second unit is deal with the operators that can be used to solve a computational programming problem, and how the input can be given to a problem and how the output is 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 is, is taken from the program. Okay, so there is a question.
Yeah, there is a question related to how the questions are framed for CO attainment and CO mapping.
Okay, so it is so for each unit we have unit outcomes. So keeping with the mind, okay. So just 1 second. So this book is visible.
Yeah, it's a visible, sir.
Yes. Okay. Someone saying book is not visible. So
It's a visible. I think.
yes. Okay. So,
Just click on the full screen, sir. And subsequently, what we will do, you just complete the presentation. After this, sir, we will take up the questions.
okay.
Yeah.
So I'll explain. So I'll keep that question in mind, and I'll explain.
Yeah. We will note down from here, sir. No issue.
Okay. So in complex, in third unit, start with the control statement in C. So together with the operators that are used for the problem solving, to writing the expressions, sometimes the complex problems might involve different decision-making statements. So the control statements were discussed in this third unit, which discuss different types of control statement like if else, and if else ladder is there, and the switch statements. And also it start with a motivating examples that suppose we want to compute the average temperature of the working days from Monday to Friday of a month. So what we have to do, we have to record the temperature of all working days and then compute the average temperature and display to the user. So now the question is that we want to compute the average temperature of the working days. So we want to avoid the weekends. So for each day we have to check whether it is a working day or not, and then we can only take it we take the record of that temperature of that day. So that visualization shows the example, what the start of that example, and what are the tools available in C programming language to cater this control statement in a programming language. So it discuss different control statements, if else and if else later, and nested if else and the switch. And sometimes uh, a particular problem might require a particular operation to be performed more than once. So there are repetitive statements are also there. Uh, for that, in C programming language, we have for, while, and do while. So throughout this unit, it discuss each control statement in detail, and for each control statement, it gives the example with a program, and it is explained in details. So for each control statement, there is a syntax is given, and the running example for the control statement is given. So this shows the selection statement for if else, and nested if else, and then in the later part it discussed about the repetition statement, like that is the loops in detail. And for better understanding, it shows the visualization through flowcharts to better understanding of one particular uh, topic, that is in this case the repetitive statement like for loop. And since flowchart was not there in the course, okay, so we'll take the question then. So since flowchart was not part of the course content, it was provided in the no more sections, and also discussed detailed uh, in the QR codes. And in the fourth unit, it covers the topic array and functions. So in a complex problem where we want to work with large data instead of working with small data, we need uh, data structure like array to handle those data and to work with those data in solving a computational problem. So that fourth unit discuss the arrays and the functions that provides the modularity in any programming language to break up a big problem, to break a big problem into small sub problems, and those sub problems are taken as different module in programming language. So arrays and functions are discussed in unit 4. It starts with the syntax and how array was declared and initialized, and how this array was is is uh, is stored in the memory. And then there is a concept of pointers is also discussed in this particular chapter, and the variants of the arrays like multidimensional array is also discussed with the examples and the uh, visualizations. And to provide modularity, the functions topic is also discussed in the fourth unit. So fourth unit is discuss two major part, which is the arrays and the functions. Towards the end, there are lots of functions are available in C programming language that can be used as a utility functions. For example, string manipulating functions that are there that are given in the NOMO section of the book. Unit 5 is discuss about the recursion and the recursive solutions. So some of the complex problems that can easily be solved using recursion and recursive solutions that extends the idea of functions that is discussed on the unit 4th is discussed in this particular unit. And again, it start with a motivating example of real world example, and then goes towards the programming examples and the explanations. So one of the interesting problem, which is Tower of Hanoi, is also discussed towards the end of the unit. So these are the I would say a brief idea of the content of the book that has been discussed throughout the writing of the book. So thank you, and now I think any questions we can take on that book.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Before we go for the questions, I request Professor Kusumdeep Madam from IIT Roorkee to kindly share his views and thoughts about the book on computer programming.
So a very warm good evening to everybody present. At the outset, let me thank the AICT and Dr. Amit Srivastava to giving us this opportunity to contribute towards the writing of this book. So Professor Chauhan has actually done the entire hard work. I have just given my comments and suggestions on and off. I would like to mention that although the book is a computer programming book using the C language, but this does not mean that the readers should focus only on C. Even if they decide to use any other programming language, let's say, for example, C++ or Java or whatever, they can understand the concept of the logic that has been that we have tried to explain into the book, and using that logic they can use another language also with the same logic. Only the difference will lie in the fact that the syntax will be different. So in C the syntax is slightly different, and in C++ the syntax is slightly different. Of course, C++, for example, has other features as well. Of course, they are not covered in C, but the basic idea of writing a logical set of algorithms that has been introduced into this book. And for this diploma level, I think we have done our best, and I would like to congratulate the author also for putting in such a lot of hard work. And we hope that this book will be useful to one and all. I would also request the readers to download the book, and you are welcome to come back to us for any suggestions or any comments or any questions that you have. You are welcome to ask them right now, or you are also welcome to later on contact us for this. So thank you so much and wish you happy reading.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable contribution in this particular book. So now the session is open for any query from the participant. So I request participant to kindly raise your hand so that we can unmute you from our end. Any participant who has any query, just please raise your hand using the WebEx icon. Yeah, so Subhasri. Subhasri Wagmere, we have unmuted you. Yeah, please.
I think I'm audible.
Yeah, audible.
Yes, I've gone through this book as rather, it's a great contribution that the sir has done and the ma'am has reviewed. But according to the new education policy now that we have, it's a ABC system that we are going to have it in future. So have you thought over for one credit how much number of units to be covered, or can that book be aligned according to the credit systems?
Dr. Satyendra sir or ma'am?
So, I think it's flexible. So the book inside the book there is no restriction that it does not it cannot be aligned with the credit based systems. So for each unit you can define, and you can, so one particular university that is following that criteria can align that book according to their need. So inside the book, basically, in summary, inside the book, there is no restriction. Okay, so this particular unit covers that particular credit.
Okay, because when we are delivering in the classroom session, or when we are
Yes.
giving for in the flipped classroom mode for
Yes.
the students to read something from the content, so we have a clear definition about these many number of hours to be done from this book reading section,
That
and based on that, then there is a further discussion. So definitely, it is counted as a
yes.
part of credit.
Yes.
So if
So
it is my
this
one
particular,
credit of 15 hours, and if I'm delivering 2 hours session and 13 hours if I'm asking from the books to read,
okay.
then can it have such kind of a mapping?
Yes, for this particular book is actually for the diploma student for AICTE. So this book was keeping in mind the curriculum, the credit system of the diploma, which is 2 credit. So for this particular computer programming book is written keeping in the mind of the 2 credit. Uh,
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Around 30 lectures.
May I just add some?
Yes.
Yeah. So in my opinion, you see, this particular subject of computer programming is slightly different from any other theoretical subject, because whatever the reader reads from the book, the reader should also implement on the computer. Like if a
Yes.
student, if a reader wants to understand a program, then he has to first understand the logic behind that program, and then he has to implement it on the computer so that he realizes whether he has actually understood the logic behind the problem, and also he has learned to implement it on the computer. So for that reason, this is a slightly different topic as far as any other topic is concerned. And the answer to your question is yes, the flexibility is there. Yeah, so I think the flexibility is there. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you so
So
much.
basically the number of hours that needed for one particular unit can be shrink or can be expand. So
Yes, that's what I said. The flexibility is there. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
some of the in chat box there is a questions on downloading the books. They have to register
Yeah,
first,
for
and then
Yeah, actually, for the downloading, you just have to register either using your mobile number or the email ID. So both options are there. And after registration, when you click on the download button, the code will come on your email ID, and subsequently you can download the books. So it's a freely available all the second year books. And one recently we have also taken a decision to make all these books as open education resources following the Creative Commons licenses worldwide. So the faculty member and students may also use in their lecture notes also, institutions may also use them. So there is a no restrictions. We are allowing everyone to use it freely, even in India, even outside India also. So because we have received query from other countries also to how to access these books, so we made it the OER compliant in alignment with the UNESCO regulations. So anybody could access these books across the different institutions worldwide.
you have to just register a small form
Right.
is there, and
Yeah.
thus you have to just put the mobile. So one question, and one I think in the chat. The last part is normally this is programming. We know the criteria is 60% is programming, 30% for theory, and 10% for application level. So, see, so Raju sir, can you just elaborate what you want to ask so we can?
Dr. Raju, we have unmuted you. If you could elaborate on this particular question.
Sir, good
Yeah,
evening,
please.
sir.
Yeah, good evening.
My question is for question paper setting.
Okay. With respect to the question paper setting, so actually it depends on one particular university. If it because taking example of, let's say, MNIT, we have the theory part is separate, the theory course is separate, and the lab component is separate. So the evaluation of lab component is totally independent and separate from the theory part. So for theory part, you can have a separate paper, and in the theory part, obviously it's a programming course, so it will cover the programming part more.
Yes.
And the criteria for theory part also, yes, it's more or less correct that 60 to 70% questions will be there from the in terms of programming. 10 to 20 to 30 might be from theory, and the analysis part from that is from the application part.
Okay.
Any other participant has any query, just raise your hand so that we can unmute you.
Okay.
Yeah, I request if any participant has any query, please click on the hand icon so that we can unmute you from our end. In the chat box, mostly we have taken the questions.
So initially there was one question that how the questions were prepared. So in case of outcome-based education, to align with the Bloom's taxonomy, where there are different levels like create, evaluate, analyze, apply, understand, and remember. So the questions are divided in such cases. For example, let's say there is a fill in the blanks questions. So basically, the fill in the blanks comes comes under the remembering part. So where if a student remembers that concept and that definitions or basically the idea of that topic, so by remembering he can solve it. And some of the output based questions check the level of the understanding in Bloom's taxonomy, that whether the student is able to understand that question or not, that particular program is not, and based on that understanding it can give the solution. And the practical part that is given at the end is for the apply part, and the error and the MCQs, the questions are from the analyze and the evaluate. So these are the different levels of the Bloom's taxonomy catered in the exercise of the book.
Any example? There is one more question, sir. It's
maximum.
Yeah, any example question on knowledge levels you have in textbook?
So okay,
that means only 4 levels we can attain. I think she is referring about the program outcome or
so okay, so what I understood in each unit, so programs, the exercises that are given in towards the end of the unit are keeping with the mind of the Bloom's taxonomy. The mapping of the each unit outcome is mapped in the starting of the unit, that what will be the outcome of that particular unit, and what are the course outcomes are achieved through those unit outcomes that are mapped in the starting of the book unit. The chat, I think.
I'm just Preksha, I'm unmuting you so that you can directly ask your question. Yeah, I have unmuted you, Preksha. I think there is some problem in her microphone. If any other participant has any query, just raise your hand or type in the chat box so that the resource person may address the same.
Okay, so Preksha is actually writing. It is better create a question with knowledge levels, and yes, so that is what exactly we have done. So the questions
Let
are
Preksha become the panelist now. She can speak.
okay.
Just unmute your mic and if you have any query so that you can raise your query, please. Okay, sir, please. Dr. Satyen, sir, please go ahead.
Okay, so I understood that question, and at the end of the chat, that what Preksha wants to know. So actually, so she asked, it is better to create a question with knowledge levels and the CEOs. So yes, we have actually done that. So for every questions, the sample questions that are there in the book that aligns with the Bloom's taxonomy of that have different levels. Like create, evaluate, analyze, apply, and understand and remember. As I just explained. The second part, which is the questions aligned with the CEOs, is actually the evaluation criteria that evaluation that is done at the university or the institute during the examination time. So the questions, so these are the sample questions that shows ki, okay, so which type of knowledge you can for which type of knowledge level, what type of questions you can have. Now, in the examination, based similar type of questions aligned with the CEOs, you can assess. So they are the sample questions aligned with different knowledge levels in the Bloom's taxonomy. That is the answer from my side. So I hope I have given you the.
Yeah, madam, if you wish to add something.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. I agree with what
Okay.
he said. Yeah.
Okay. So I think there is no more questions. So we are coming to the end of this book discussions on computer programming book. I request all of you, if you have any feedback as suggested by the ma'am also, there is an email ID of the authors and the reviewers. Also in the website, eComb website, we have a one feedback link also. So for a particular book, you may submit your feedback so that we can pass it on to the authors and reviewers. Recently, in one of the book, there is a feedback from one of the author. Immediately, the same has been corrected, and we have updated the book, and updated book has been uploaded on the eComb portal. So with this, we are coming to the end of the today book discussion session. I thanks the authors and the reviewer, Dr. Satyendra Singh Chauhan, along with Professor Kusumdeep, ma'am, for their valuable contributions in to be part of the AICT technical book writing, and the contribution from the author side in using the QR code, creating videos in bilingual, and subsequently adding the overall knowledge which our students are going to be acquired with the help of these books. So again, on behalf of the AICT, I thanks both of you for your contributions, and we look forward for part of the AICT team in future also whenever we go for the third year and the fourth year book writing schemes. So thank you very much to both of you, and namaskar.
Thank you.
And we thanks all the participants, the faculty member, head of institution, and the students for their active participation in today's interactions. And I request all of you to kindly download. There are total 28 books we have uploaded from civil, mechanical, electrical, computer science disciplines. So I request all of you to kindly download these second year books from the eComb portal and use it in your program of study. So again, thanks to all of you. Yes.
Just interrupting, one question was there, so that so
please, sir.
For the answers, you can just read out the book that are there. So we have given the flowchart and the algorithm concepts that is there. So you can read out. Just to end up with the question. So no more questions.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.